Okay, well, good Wednesday afternoon, New York Jet fans and NFL fans. It is October 16th, 4:43 p.m. You are watching The Takeoff. My name is Alex, and another week and some more Jet news. But before we get to the Jet news, just a quick recap of the experience Monday night under the lights at MetLife Stadium. So this game and the atmosphere reminded me of an old Meadowlands game. You know, you had the wind, you had the crispness, the cold. The tailgate, really, you were lucky you were able to cook. Chairs were just falling down, covers and lids flying all over the place. I would say, again, for the third home game that we went to this year, mostly Jet fans. I don't know if these tickets were sold or if in my section, most of them are season ticket holders. But even the tickets that were sold were to Jet fans. You usually get a lot of big Bills, fan turnout. I'd say it was 80-20. The Denver game and the New England game, I'd say was 95-5. So, the fans are still going. The fans still have hope. But the Jets have dropped 3 games in a row. Okay? And we're going to work our way backwards. So we're going to start with Monday night. The wind, like I said, was wreaking havoc. I told my daughters we have to watch here for the kicking game and the passing game with this wind. And lo and behold, we're walking down to our seats. We're in the end zone, and a ball, I don't know if it was Zerline or the kicker for the Bills, kicks it wide right, and the ball lands right behind us in the seats. That happened probably twice during practice and warm-ups. Before the game and during halftime, before the third quarter started. And of course, it wreaked havoc where the Bills missed a field goal and an extra point, and the Jets missed 2 field goals. The Jets lose 23-20. Defense came out flat. Okay, offense was a little bit moving. They settled for 3. They get into that red zone. They're in the red zone 5 times. And scored once. Scored a touchdown once. Of course, the other one was a Hail Mary, so that was not in the red zone. But the red zone offense has been brutal, and that's got to change. That is the difference. The defense coming out flat in the first quarter or the first half. Again, they make a few stops. Again, they don't get penalties, and this is a different game. This is a different outcome. I'm not one to really get on the refs, but I'm not the only one. Okay, the stadium, you thought you had a third down conversion stopped, and they got a roughing the passer or an illegal hands to the face. The biggest blow to me or to the team was Braylon Allen scores from like the 2-yard line on a rush. Okay, and they call holding. They show the holding call and the play, and I turned to everybody, turned to my kids, I was like, he was across the goal line, had 2 steps in the end zone. Now you could say I'm biased that I came up with that, but you know what? Yesterday, Bob Wischusen, voice of the Jets, said when he looked at it, not only was he in the end zone, the hold was at least 2 or 3 yards away from him. Had nothing to do with the play. Did not impair, did not affect the play at all. The referees did. Coach Ulbrich, didn't get down on the referees. He said he was going to look at the tape, see what were true penalties, see what they had to tighten up, and he'll fix it. So he was kind of, I guess, he's the new kid on the block. He doesn't want to get that reputation. And he can't have that reputation. He is not a Parcells or a Belichick or anybody who's been in the league that long that could really complain. And then Rodgers even said his roughing the passer call, so the call that went for him was not roughing the passer. So that has to be tightened up. You don't want the refs making the difference in a game. Okay? In the end, hey, the Jets could have won this game. For the 3rd straight time, the Jets had the ball on the final drive with a chance to tie it or win it. Okay? Monday night, Rodgers throws A deep pass, Mike Williams slips coming back for the ball. It's picked off. Now, I know in the past we would have played for the field goal. I know they were trying to get into field goal range, but if he would have caught that pass, he would have been in touchdown range as well, even though the red zone offense has been horrific. All right, so that ended that drive. And then to top it off, Josh Allen scampers for a first down to put the coffin, nail in the coffin. The week before, Jets have the ball again. Final drive, touchdown wins it, down by 4. Mike Williams again, ball's passed to him, passes to the inside, to his left. He turns to the right, and it's picked off by the defender. Week before that, Denver in the rain, versus Denver, I should say, at home here at MetLife. Jets have the ball. Late, loss of yardage, puts them at a 50-yard attempt in a cold, not so windy, but a very rainy day. The ball's heavy, and Zerline hooks it. Jets lose. 3 drives with a chance to tie to win it, and they're 0 for 3. Okay? That is unacceptable. Aaron Rodgers was brought here to not have games like this. Aaron Rodgers was brought here to elevate us above this. Now, the 3 games combined, total points lost by 10 points. Lost by 3 this week. Lost by 4 in London against the Vikings. Lost by 3 to Denver. You are looking at 5-1, 4-2. 4-2 if Zerline hits the 3 field goals that he missed. Okay? That's tremendous. If they win against Denver, is Saleh still here? I don't know. But you know what? We moved on from Saleh, which his brother had a few words to say today, and I'll get into that a little later. So we're at 2-4 now, 6 games in, 11 games left. And, what is the pulse? Well, my kids, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've been taking my kids to the games for the last 12 years. This is probably the 12th season they're coming. My oldest one was just 8 when she started coming. My youngest one was probably almost 6. Okay, it used to be a day out with Dad. We go to the game, me, Dad, and the 2 girls, meet the players, get some autographs, take some pictures. If they won, awesome. They lost, all right, we had a great day together. You know what? I still feel that way. I'm still making memories with my daughters, 20 and 18 now. But they have evolved to learn the game. They have evolved to follow this team more than just getting autographs. They've evolved to love this team. And I'm sorry that they feel the heartache that Jet fans have felt. The Monday night game against San Fran, we all kind of took it like, all right, kind of, put us in perspective what we want to be. The loss to Denver, the loss to the Vikings and the way we lost, and then the loss Monday, they were just disgusted. The ride home was just disgusted, and you think about the time and effort that goes into going to the games, okay? And I love it, okay? People tell me you're crazy, you spend all this money every year. First of all, look, 365, 7 days a week, I'm wearing the green, okay? I'm wearing the colors. Whether it's a hat, a jacket, my shorts, my shirt, my pants, pajamas, socks, whatever. They are a part of our lives. My girls also, okay? So a normal day, okay? So that we'll take Monday, for instance, okay? Hit a tremendous amount of traffic. There was a Yankee playoff game at home that was starting, I believe, about a half hour or 15 minutes prior to the Jet game. So you had that traffic, had the regular turnpike traffic. So a usual 45-minute drive took almost an hour and a half. Pull into the lot, like I said, wind, crazy, can't put the seats out to tailgate. I cook in the freezing cold, eat in the car, okay? Go in at 7-something, walk around, try to warm up, watch the warm-ups, wait for the game to start, and then you watch the game. Okay, so you're already at the stadium 3-4 hours before the game even starts. Okay, we'll say 3 hours, 2 hours. Then you have a 3-hour, 15-minute product, and they lose. Now you gotta trek your way back to the parking lot and get home. So, yes, that is not fun. That is very disheartening, but it is what it is. And you hope that one day you get to see the promised land. But I will add this. Again, I had another great night with my daughters. We took pictures together. We joked around things. We spoke about the team. So maybe that's where it's priceless. But I could see Jet fans getting upset. A team that could be 4-2, 5-1, and we'll say 4-2. I'll give the Vikings that game right out because they had a 17-0 lead. It's 2-4. Okay, we're still second place in the AFC East, and that's only because the Patriots are 1-5, and they're just horrible without talent. And the Dolphins have no quarterback, and they didn't play this week. So we can make up this ground, but you have to start now. All right, so we're driving home, and I'm basically thinking to myself, we have Pittsburgh coming up on Sunday night, and I hate to think ahead, and then we have the following Sunday. I'm trying to think who we have. We have the Patriots in New England. 2 winnable games. Now, the Pittsburgh game could be tough. Pittsburgh's in first place in their division, but they're doing it with smoke and mirrors. And I don't care how you win. If you win with smoke and mirrors, or you win with all-out talent and skill and strategy, if you win, you win, okay? We've only won in Pittsburgh, I think, once in our history. And that was 2010 under Rex, and then we wound up losing a few weeks later in the AFC Championship game. But it's a different team this year with Pittsburgh. Also, the Jets should be a different team, so we shall see how they prepare. So if they win the next 2 weeks, they could be 4-4 headed into that Thursday night game at home versus the Houston Texans. So these weeks coming up are very, very important. So now, I had mentioned earlier, another week, another Jet news. So there was 2 news stories that came out yesterday. One didn't get as much publicity until today. So the first one, the most publicized one, is Davante Adams is now a Jet. He will wear number 17. Corley, who's wearing 17, will be 14. So anybody who has your Sam Darnold uniforms, by all means, pull them out of the closet and get them ready. And Davante Adams will play Sunday in Pittsburgh. So, they say Rodgers gets what Rodgers wants, and, the Jets are now the Packers East or whatever. Listen, I don't care. Call me whatever you want. I just want to win it all. That's what I want. So, the Davante Adams comes over, and every week Aaron Rodgers is on the Pat McAfee show, and they're talking to Rodgers, and they're bringing up the Davante Adams trade, and you can see Rodgers gets a smile on his face, and he kind of moves his eyes to the left and turns him back to the right, like to come on in. And there's Davante Adams in Rodgers' house, or actually, I think he was in the Jets facility. I'm not sure if it was Rodgers' house or not. So you could see right there, the chemistry right off the bat is there. Now, I know Lazard and Rodgers had chemistry, and they show it at times, but Lazard in no way is as skilled as Davante Adams. Taking a step forward, this should get, Jet fans excited. Maybe this was just propaganda. I don't know, but I don't know this coach too well. When they spoke to Ulbrich yesterday, again, he reiterated about the penalties and having to look at it, and red zone and play calling and whatnot, and the defense. He brought up the Davante Adams trade, and he said the tandem of Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers reminds him of back when he was on the 49ers. And he said that, his question to him was, can Davante Adams help evolve and develop Garrett Wilson and the other wide receivers on the Jets? And Ulbrich said yes. He was on the 49ers. I don't know if he was at that point a player or a coach. I think he was a player at that point. And he said that Jerry Rice was like in his 18th year, and T.O. was a young player. And Rice taught T.O. so much, and we know what T.O. turned out to be. Now, I won't get into, his antics, or whatever, but the skill and the hands that he had made his team better. So if Davante Adams could bring that here, he's 31, okay, and teach Garrett Wilson to polish himself. Just the things that take you from a very good receiver or a good receiver to a great receiver. This is a great trade. The trade is for conditional third, I believe, a third-round pick. If the Jets make it to the AFC Championship game, it becomes a second-round pick, which I think is a great trade. It shows you that the Jets are all in. They have not missed a beat. Woody Johnson, everybody said Woody Johnson, the checkbook, he brought it out, he signed the check. Next maybe Hassan Reddick. Okay. So I don't know if I went into this the other day, but Hassan Reddick now has Drew Rosenhaus as his agent, and Drew said that he and the Jets want to work something out. So that in itself means that something will be worked out, either a trade or he will be a Jet. Well, I'm not even going to get into that right now. The other news, and listen, I am not a hater by any means. There was something on Twitter about Fireman Ed and the other Jet fanatics, okay? And I'm not going to say Jet fans because they are known as Jet fanatics, not getting the screen time at MetLife Stadium. Now, I didn't notice it, and I will be honest with you. I don't hate Ed at all. I think he comes with passion. I think he loves his team. I met him a few times. He gets the crowd started. He takes pictures with the kids. He takes pictures with the adults. So there's no hate there for Ed. What I don't like, and this is not Ed's fault, is when somebody makes him be the tell-all, be-all spokesperson for all of us. And he's not. And he'll probably tell you he's not either. I met Ed a few times, like I said, and one of the times was he was talking to my father, and asked my father how he did it for all these years. And my father was like, you just live with it. And he was like, oh, we'll get there one day. Another time was at a pep rally just prior to the New England playoff game, the divisional playoff game after the 2010 season. And he was saying that, he was driving up to New England. He was talking about Pittsburgh. When he went to Pittsburgh, and really loyal, down-to-earth guy, genuine. Look, I had to move my hand. I was falling asleep. I don't know if he pays for his tickets. I don't know if he doesn't pay for his tickets. I don't care. I know, where my seats are. I know what I pay for. It doesn't matter to me. I don't know what, the 75,000 other people in the stadium. So I always said, if it wasn't Ed, it'd be somebody else to lead the chant. Not to say we don't want Ed, but we don't need him. Not him personally. We don't need somebody to lead the chant. To get up on fourth down or third down and long. If you're a football fan, you should know that. You should know to bring the noise. Do you think you go into Seattle and there is one person who says bring the noise? No. The Seattle 12th man knows to bring the noise. Okay? Ed is a symbol for the fans in the stadium. I know when there's new people walking around like, oh, where's the fireman shit? Where's the fireman? Oh. Listen, like I said, no hate towards Ed. Ed and I want the same outcome for this team. But I just find it funny where the Jets are always in the news. So now Ed came out with a video, and he, so basically what happens is they did a hype video, and you could find it. You could Google 2024 hype video, where it's Ed, I believe Jetman, and I think his name is Scott, does the chant. These guys are great. They're in different sections of the stadium. They hype the stadium up. They did a hype video where they're doing the chant, and they keep repeating the chant. And as they're playing this video now, the stadium starts repeating the chant. So it gets it started before the game started. Then just before the kickoffs, before the game starts and before the third quarter starts and after kickoffs on scores, Ed and the other 2 gentlemen or 3 gentlemen lead the chant. and the fans go wild. They used to be on the screen for everything, okay? Now, I didn't notice it Monday, but they weren't on the screen. I think they were on the screen like 2 or 3 times. So Ed reached out. He said he received a lot of video, a lot of emails and texts asking him what was going on. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know if it's a Jet production decision, if it was just a coincidence. I don't know. I actually reached out to Ed and asked, if he needed anything, what we could do, to get the word out. But again, this is probably an organizational decision, and maybe they'll reach out to Ed. The team doesn't know anybody anything, and Ed doesn't know anybody anything. But, if you're told that you're going to be leading a chant and you're not, maybe you should be told that as well. But I'm going to leave it at that. If he brings more atmosphere to the stadium, I'm all for it. I'm pulling for him. And if they do stop with putting him on the board, I hope he continues to go to the games. But we'll move on for that. So that's the 2 news stories. The other 2 stories, and, Bill Belichick came out. He was on the Manning cast Monday night and said something that, like he doesn't have any love lost for the Jets, and that he knows Robert Saleh's record was not great, but he said shouldn't have got rid of him, and it's a Woody Johnson decision, and Woody makes these decisions, and so on and so forth. Taking a jab at the team. In addition to that, Robert Saleh's brother David, and like I said, I like Robert, and I know one of his siblings were were a victim of 9/11. They were there that day. I do believe that they made it through. I'm not sure if it is in the vicinity, but they were in Manhattan, and that was one of the decisions that Robert Saleh made to become a part of the NFL and change his career path. Well, David wrote something to the effect, he tweeted, when a Hall of Fame coach says this, you need to listen. And he put like all gas, no brakes, Robert Saleh, blah, 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 blah. Listen, 2 things. Bill Belichick, first of all, just told you he doesn't want to coach the Jets. Okay, so you're not even going to make that phone call, even though I thought he should. The other thing is, and one of the things that he wrote was that to do the same thing over and over again with the same results is insanity. And they're right, but you're talking about a 3.5 year record, a losing record, and to keep him would be insane. They needed to make that change. I don't know, and I get he's being there for his brother, and he's sticking up for his brother, but he had to go. I understand we lost Monday. I don't know if we win with Saleh there, but he had to go. And basically, that's it. So I kind of wrote back, Belichick was nothing without the Tom Brady's a quarterback. He won nothing before that, and he's won nothing after, and now he doesn't have a job. He will be in the Hall of Fame due to his record, but other than that, he brings no warrant to this. So that's my dog making noise there. So basically, that is the news from the last couple of days. It's never easy. Ironically, PSL payments were made the day after the loss. And, that's just, they say timing is everything, I guess. But it is what it is. It is the life of a Jet fan. I'm looking forward to Sunday night. I'm looking forward to it being a night game and not being home. So that makes it nice. And they have a big chance to kind of get back into this. And the season is still young enough where they could get back into it. So I'm not going to say that, maybe my dog doesn't agree with me. So I'm not going to say that the season is over. But I will say that they need to win 2 of these games coming up before Houston, because Houston is a tough team. Pittsburgh always plays them tough. And they could beat New England. New England showed that they are very, very weak. They're not that good. And that rivalry is not there. So you don't have the Belichick, Brady, connection.
She peed already.
Okay, so now you know what my dog did outside. So that's it right now. Like I said, it's Wednesday evening. NFL starts up again tomorrow night. I don't know who has the Thursday night game, but it was a huge week in sports in New York. You have the NLCS, the ALCS. Mets are 1-1 against the Dodgers. The Yankees are up 2-0. Mets play tonight at home at Citi Field, so you know it's going to be rocking. The Yankees are on a travel day. They're going to, where are they going? They're going to Cleveland for tomorrow. Monday night, the Islanders won, the Rangers won, the Yankees won, the Mets won, and the Jets lost. You know, got to move on. I'm not going to make this be that the season's over. You know, Rodgers got another one of his receivers here. They can only make the team better. Okay? And I want to say one thing. And you could tell me I'm crazy. You can call me delusional. But I want to talk about these people who say ownership has to change. Never, ever, from Leon Hess through Woody and Christopher Johnson, did I ever think that they were not thinking of winning. All right? Leon Hess wanted to win. Woody Johnson and Christopher Johnson want to win. You know, I know they make money regardless, but winning brings more money to the table. Winning makes them more in the spotlight in a positive way. You know, and there's so many things, you know, they'll say, Woody Johnson's too cheap. He didn't put a new field down on the stadium. First of all, the Giants co-own the stadium with the Jets, okay? The design of the stadium was by both of them. The field changes and upgrades are done by both of them. Okay, so it's not Woody Johnson not taking out his checkbook. Okay, Woody Johnson getting players in. Okay, it's partly the GM's call, and I have not heard from Joe Douglas with all this going on, so that really makes me scratch my head. I don't know what's going on there. But to say Woody Johnson, you know, is a bad owner, what as an owner would you have done differently? Okay, he bought the team. Parcells was his head coach. They had just come from an AFC Championship game that they were up with less than 30 minutes left. They were up by 10 points and lost. Okay. Parcells, 99. They're set to go to the Super Bowl. They're ready. They're the favorites. Vinny blows out his Achilles. They end up one game short of the playoffs. Parcells retires. He's never going to coach again. He's riding off into the sunset. And you know what, Bill? I'll say this now. You played us, okay? Because you had Belichick take over and you knew he wasn't going to stay. Okay, and I feel that in my heart. You knew that Belichick was not going to stay. So what did you do? You brought in Al Groh for 1 year to put a Band-Aid on it. Okay, Groh gets him within one game of the playoffs and then leaves for a college head coaching job. So you can't tell me Parcells was not in cahoots with Belichick. Now, I don't know if he knew Belichick was going to New England because he really didn't get along with Kraft, Parcells, but he knew Belichick was leaving. And he knew Groh was only going to do 1 year. Okay? So Parcells goes off into the sunset, but hey, I'm going to go coach the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? So no more off into the sunset. Now he goes to coach the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? Then Woody hires Herm Edwards, where if you heard Herm Edwards' first press conference, you wanted to run through a wall. Wade Corbett said that. Herm came up with you play to win the game. Herm was a motivator. Herm was not an X and O guy. Herm got us into the playoffs, I believe, 3 out of his 5 seasons. 2001, 2002, 2004. Okay, he missed it in 2003 when Pennington got hurt, and he missed it in 2005, and then he was off to the sunset to KC where he really didn't do much. Okay, so Woody goes and gets Eric Mangini, who was a coach under Bill Belichick. So he's trying to bring in the New England culture, the winning culture. Okay, and Mangini, the first year, gets us into the playoffs. Okay, the second year, we don't make it. The third year, they go and they get Brett Favre. And I can remember they beat the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee, I believe, was 9-0 or 10-0 at the time. We go into Tennessee, we beat them. And there's talk of if the Jets make the AFC Championship game in their home and the Giants make the AFC Championship game in their home, you know, are we going to do a Sunday, Monday? How are you going to do this? All the logistics. The Jets didn't make the playoffs. They lost to the Dolphins. Chad Pennington bit them in the ass, won the AFC East on the last game of the season, and the Jets missed out. So what do? They go and they get Rex. And you can't tell me when Rex came in, you were not fired up. Okay? Not going to kiss Belichick's rings. I didn't come here to lose to them, you take out one of our guys, we're going to take out two of yours. And that worked. For 2.5 seasons, Rex had this team playing like a team that was determined to go out and win at all costs. 2 AFC championship games with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, okay? But the pressure got too much to Sanchez. The pressure to win got too much on the team. And then Sanchez, they bring in Tebow, they bring in Geno Smith. Sanchez gets hurt in a playoff, in a preseason game, and the Geno Smith saga happens, and he goes, to other teams. Rex is here 5 years. They let him go, and what do? They get rid of Rex, they bring in Todd Bowles. Bowles, again, 1 game short of the playoffs, and then never got closer again. Brings in Adam Gase. Okay, now you got to remember that Woody has always been criticized that he's not a football guy. So he brought in people to help him. When he hired Bowles, he brought in people. He spoke to Peyton Manning about Gase, and I think that was just maybe, you could tell that wasn't the right choice. And then after Gase, he went after Robert Saleh, a proven good defensive coach who brought his team and the defense into the Super Bowl with a lot of electricity, with a lot of energy. And he thought that, that and getting, the first round pick, you had Sam Darnold and then you had Zach Wilson, and it just never worked out. So to hear that he doesn't want to spend money, he's not looking to win, is just bullshit, okay? Woody Johnson is a Jet owner who loves this team. He bleeds green. You agree with me or not agree with me? I've seen him at the games. I met his brother. I met him. They want to win. They don't just want to have a team on the field. Just think about it. Just think about if you were the owner of Burger King and you shared a lot with McDonald's. Don't you want to have as much success as McDonald's? Okay? Coke and Pepsi, Jets and Giants. That's what it is. The Jets don't have that success rate yet. They need to get there. They need to win. And he's trying to win at all costs. And he's trying to win right now to fulfill a 50-plus year miss. A lot of the people who saw Namath win are in their 80s now, in their 70s now. You got to remember that. If they were 10, they're in their late 60s now. So he is trying to catch this team, put it together, a win-now team, and he put Aaron Rodgers at the helm, and he's trying to win now. So anybody who thinks, Woody doesn't want to spend money, I don't understand. You're just trying to blame anybody now. Okay? We've had different owners, different coaches, different quarterbacks, different defensive players, different logos. It's just a matter of getting it all right. So I'm going to go in now. Have a great rest of your week. Again, you're watching The Takeoff. Subscribe to us on YouTube. The Takeoff is the YouTube account. At The Jets Takeoff is a YouTube channel. The Twitter handle is at The Jets Takeoff. And, of course, you can email us at thejets.takeoff@gmail.com. Have a great rest of your week. Be safe, be healthy, a blessed week, whichever you call it. And let's see how they do this weekend. Davante Adams in the building. He's playing Sunday. Does Hassan Reddick find his way into the building as well?